Another double XP event is right around the corner, and with just 2 events per year, you want to take advantage as much as possible. So here are 5 tips to maximize your double XP time in RuneScape 3. First up is training the right skills. I always try to focus on buyable skills first, because this way you can train them twice as fast and also spend half as much GP. Some buyable skills that I would prioritize include smithing, herblore, crafting, fletching, construction, and summoning. Any of these buyable skills would be good to work on, and you just need to decide based on your account progression. Personally, I'll be focusing on construction this double XP since we are getting a massive construction and player-owned house expansion in just a few months. And with the level cap increasing to level 120, I want to be prepared for everything that update has to offer. Construction is also fairly fast to train, and it is AFK with Fort 4 and 3 construction. For my main account, this means instead of having to pay over 1 billion GP for supplies, I'll only be using around 600 million worth, saving me a ton of GP in the process. Summoning would also be another great option. I trained it to 120 a few double XPs ago, and you get XP rates approaching 30 million XP per hour. So if you have the charm stocked up, this is a great skill to go for in just a few hours of double XP time. Sometimes a newer player might think that prayer is a good viable skill to train on double XP, but all the big XP boosts for prayer, like offering bones on an altar or using the powder of burials, doesn't work at all on double XP. So if you are looking to train prayer, probably better to train it off of double XP, or you can use cleansing crystals and prifdiness, since this does stack with double XP. If not focusing on viable skills, training the more boring skills is also a good option. If you're someone who despises dungeoneering, then training in half the time on double XP can actually make it a tolerable grind, and it's actually something I did a few years ago. Stacking XP boosts is another tip that can save you multiple precious double XP hours and a lot of GP. There are many different XP boosts across the game, and you can easily get an extra 20% XP on any skill you're training just by using some of them. A lot of these XP boosts are actually really easy to get and maintain. The clan avatar boost is one that I have on my account almost always, and it gives me a 6% XP boost across the game no matter what skill I'm training for a full week. You do need to be a part of a clan with a clan avatar habitat to enable the XP boost. If you are, you can go to your clan citadel and gather some resources for the citadel until you have a fealty level. And every week you can go back and increase your fealty level, which will increase the XP gained from the avatar. So it starts at a 3% XP boost and will increase to 6%. So every week I just go into my clan citadel and I will cap the resources, and then I'll turn on the XP boost and just proceed with my full week with 6% more XP. This is an additive boost with double XP, so instead of gaining 200% XP, you'll now gain 206% XP with the maximum clan avatar habitat, and you can continue to stack other XP boosts on top of this. There are, of course, skilling outfits that you can use, which will give you up to another 6% additive XP boost. So, for example, for construction, this coming double XP, I'll be wearing the construction outfit for that 6% XP boost. There are sometimes some skilling tools or offhands, so in construction's case, there is the sculpting chisel, which you do get from the god statues D&D, so I'll be equipping this for an additional 1% construction XP. There are other boosts like having the Wise perk on some sort of equipment that you're wearing. You can have things like the Inspire relics for an extra 2% XP, Torsol incense sticks, which you can literally just buy off the Grand Exchange, will give you an extra 2% XP. There are plenty of XP boosts within Fort 4 and 3 using things like the kitchen or the Ranger's workroom. And finally, there are the MTX related boosts. So these will be effective for this upcoming double XP, but eventually they will be terminated in 2027. So this would be things like the Pulse Core boost, so you'll want to be training a lot of those viable or processing skills at Fort 4 and 3 in a populated world. So you get that Pulse Core boost, which will give you an extra 10% XP. And hopefully other people will be using their Rock of Resilience, Scepter of Enchantment, and Coin of Enchantment, which could get you an extra 5% XP on top of that. If you are training any skills where you can use the portable skilling stations, that would be fire making, crafting, fletching, cooking, herb lore, smithing, and construction, then you'll want to make sure you use those portable stations. If you combine this with a Brooch of the Gods, it doubles the effect, which could be something like giving you an XP boost or saving resources. So it's huge to use these, and if you are on a populated world, you'll definitely see them placed around Fort 4 and 3. You can see that if you stack all of these different boosts, instead of gaining 200% XP, you might be gaining something like 220, maybe even 230% XP. So it really helps out a ton. Oh, and don't forget those Silverhawk boots for the free agility XP. There are some PvM supplies that tend to go down during double XP because people are making a lot of them just to train their skills. One of them is vulnerability bombs. If you look at the historical price of vulnerability bombs, they do tend to dip right after a double XP, which has been in February, May, August, and November. And so buying it during one of these dips, right after or during a double XP, is sometimes a pretty good idea. You can sometimes find a pretty good deal on potions, whether that be things like super restores or Saradomin brews, sometimes even things like super attacks and defenses, things that you would need to make overloads. And then also there's summoning pouches. You can usually buy those for very cheap, at least the regular version. The binding contracts will still be the same price as always. Then there's also sometimes where there's some processed ingredients that go down in price, like the Dragonstone, which maybe you want to stock up on, and you can put them in your alchemizer for some extra profit. So while double XP is a great time to train some skills, it can also be a pretty good time to pick up some pretty cheap items. This will be the last double XP event where the double XP Token Store is open and you can still buy items in there, so you will want to use any double XP tokens you have. They did say that there will be a reduced availability of items within this store, so probably a lot of those XP stars and XP lamps will probably be gone, and you maybe will only be able to buy these skilling outfits. So make sure to buy them while you still can. It's just such a quick and easy way to get them instead of having to go get them through some old and dead minigames. And finally, this same can be said for all of your MTX related items. So all your proteins and skilling dummies, you'll want to make sure you use them up while you still can. They will be gone this time next year, so you maybe will have one more double XP event to use these, probably in November, but there is very limited time to use them, especially on a double XP event. So if you have some proteins left over in your bank or some skilling dummies, make sure to use them before you lose them. And with that, those are the 5 tips you should keep in mind to maximize your double XP in RuneScape 3.